Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Q8, Audi's flagship SUV. I've just got to spend some time with one in Dubai, and I'm going to quickly summarize what you can expect from Audi's range topper when it goes on sale in India on January 15, 2020. First things first, the way it looks. The Q8 is big on show value, something that I'm convinced will resonate with its target clientele of red carpet regulars. Only marginally shorter and lower, but also wider than a Q7, the Q8 is a whole lot of SUV. And up front, you'll see a whole lot of grille. The latest evolution of Audi's single-frame grille is massive, yes, but do you know what? It works on the big and bold Q8. Sharply cut headlights and sporty air intakes add to the Q8's chiseled face. The Q8 has a squat stance, the flared fenders add muscle, and what makes it look particularly distinctive is the chunky C-pillar whose rake links it to Audi's Quattro rally cars from the past. Styling at the rear is sharp too, characterized by a gloss applique near the taillights and a light band that runs the width of the tailgate. What's good to know is that Audi won't hold back on rim sizes for India. 21 inches offered in a variety of designs will likely be the norm, with 22 inches offered as an option too. But there's a sense of familiarity on the inside. The Q8's interior is, as you'd expect, new age Audi, so it is quite cutting edge in look. Of course, you've got your virtual cockpit instruments that are now quite familiar across the Audi range, and then there is the dual touchscreen setup. Now your top screen is your go-to screen for your conventional settings of maps, navigation, drive modes, etc, etc. The lower screen is primarily for your climate control, and the thing about the dual touchscreen setup is it does take some time getting used to. It can be distracting at first, but there is some amount of haptic feedback, so there is that little bit of physical sensation of actually operating the screens. As for the other things, now it is really attractive, but Audi says no two Q8s will look the same, both on the outside and on the inside. There'll be a lot of customization options. The grain of the wood, the color of the leather, the headlining, everything will be personalized as per every buyer's requests.
There's good news for rear seat passengers too.
The back seat might not be the seat of choice for the Q8's targeted clientele, but I can still tell you there's a lot to like about it. There's a lot of legroom, as you can tell. The seats move forward and backward to balance legroom or luggage room at the back. There's a good amount of headroom despite that sloping roofline, and you can even recline the backrest angle. So if you want to roll onto that red carpet in grand style, the Q8 will let you do that as well.
Buyers who will be traveling often with a full house will be better off with a Q7 that offers the added flexibility of a third row of seats, something that the Q8 doesn't get. On the plus side, the absence of a third row does mean the Q8 offers loads of room for luggage, 605 liters to be precise. The Q8 will go on sale in 55 TFSI form, which is Audi speak for a 3-litre V6 turbo petrol engine capable of propelling the Q8 to 100 kph in all of 5.7 seconds. There's something likable about the way the Q8 goes about its business of gathering speed.
The Q8 for India will come with a 3-litre V6 petrol engine that makes 340 horsepower. The engine stands out for its smoothness. It's really refined, makes the Q8 feel like a good long-distance cruiser. Performance is also strong, but this is not what you'd call a brute of an SUV.
For full thrills, you'll have to hope Audi gives the green light to the 600 horsepower RS Q8 that happens to be the quickest SUV around the Nürburgring. Of the other things, the Q8's 8-speed automatic gearbox is also quick to gauge driving style, settling for the overdrive gears for the gentle cruise that makes up much of our driving route. Fact is, the Q8 is pleasant in other areas as well.
The roads in and around Dubai are quite featureless, so I can't tell you about the finer aspects of the ride and handling. But on the few corners I have been on, I can say that the Q8 is very neat in the way it changes direction. Yes, Like all Audis, the steering doesn't give you that full level of connect, but you won't really have reason for complaint. As for ride comfort, on the billiards table smooth roads of Dubai, you really can't say much. But on the highway and slightly wavier surfaces, the Q8 does come across as well damped. There are drive modes, so you can also change the characteristics of the air suspension to your liking.
Surprisingly, our test car's 21-inch rims don't rattle the Q8 on the few patches of uneven road. Hopefully, India's potholes won't prove to be a bother either. The Audi Q8 will come to India as a full import, and by extension that means it will be a pricey proposition. Those who see the Q8 merely as a Q7 in fancy clothes will find it hard to digest the estimated 1.5 crore rupee price tag. However, the Q8 isn't intended to be a volume product in India. On the contrary, the Q8's appeal in India, Audi says, will be in its exclusivity. Built to spec and loaded with goodies, the Q8 is intended for those who want their car to stand out and don't mind paying the big bucks for it. The original Q7 was once the ride of choice for India's celebs and industrialists. Something tells me the Q8 could just take the baton.